Even in small classes, digital tools and short activities, if they are consistent within the intended learning outcomes and the assessment strategy, are extremely useful. Obviously, in small classes it is easier to enhance peer interaction by implementing, occasionally or periodically, more structured activities. There can be almost infinite types of activities like simple discussion, practical application, research and activation of new concepts and new ideas, creation of projects and so on. But are there any tools that can help the teacher select the most appropriate activities among all the possibilities? Help can come from pedagogical frameworks, which are highly stimulating to identify activities to include in our lectures. The first step is to identify the topic we want to activate the class on. It can be the hardest topic for students, the easiest, or the most boring to present. The first thing to do is to identify the stimulus we want to start from. It can be therefore a question, a problem, or an experience, either carried out by the students or simply observed. Let's imagine that we are starting by presenting a problem. Following the problem-based learning framework, after the teacher presents the problem, it is possible to assign a group activity where students deconstruct the problem and identify the information needed to solve it. The activity can then continue with a research for information by exploring texts and digital resources. This can be carried out during a class or between one class and the other. At the end of the research and the focus, the groups of students will develop the more interesting solutions and present them to the class. In the same way, we can be inspired by other pedagogical frameworks, modifying, according to the context, certain variables such as the composition of groups, the output required, or including elements of gamification. In the example we just saw, every phase of the teaching framework is rendered actively involving a students group. This obviously requires higher investment in terms of time than a typical frontal lesson. It is not necessary to make every phase active. The model can be used as a narrative thread throughout the lecture. The teacher presents the problem, maps the necessary knowledge, and spreads the content in a frontal-based setting, leaving to the group activity the development of solution and the presentation in front of the whole session or among peers. In this simplified perspective, the teaching framework can help us identifying the activities that can be included even in larger classes. The various phases of the model can guide the narrative structure, and we can think of short activities to stimulate or support each phase.